Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So today we're going to continue exploring new fragrance house. And the house that I want to introduce to you today is called Room 1015. This is a relatively new French niche fragrance house. It was established in 2015 and they have 9 fragrances in their catalog. Now I have 8 of their 9 fragrances to test and to talk to you about. Now, the fragrance that got me interested in this house is probably their most known fragrance, that is called Cherry Punk. This is how their samples look. They're kind of interesting to open, a little bit different. They unroll and then the sample is inside. So as you can tell by the name, this is a cherry-centric fragrance, and I've been really into cherry scents. And so, of course, I had to try this one. So let's start with the notes. We have cherry, saffron, pepper, mimosa, violet, jasmine, leather, tonka bean, and patchouli. Now, when I first spray it, like the initial, I don't know, 2-3 seconds, I do get a blast of cherry, gorgeous blast of cherry. But like I said, that lasts a couple of seconds, literally. And then leather comes in. Heavy, scratchy, really strong leather. The type of leather that I do not like, the type of leather that I cannot handle. Now, you're getting, this leather is so strong to my nose that it really overpowers everything else. Yes, I still get that cherry, maybe it's interesting. It's a little bit sweet. It's a little bit sour cherry. Like it sort of has both sides of cherry to me, but it's very much in the background. Like it's kind of peeking through a little bit through leather, but leather overpowers the scent. And the longer it sits, at least on my skin, the more leather I feel. And honestly, I couldn't handle it after, I don't know, half an hour, I had to scrub it off and it wouldn't come off. The fragrance is so strong, it wouldn't come off, but all I could feel is leather. And you know, all the other notes, I don't even know if they're there. I don't feel them. There is a touch of cherry in the background and there's really strong leather. So definitely this fragrance is not for me. But it could appeal to many people who enjoy leather. Like, I think especially to some men, I kind of feel like if they think that maybe Tom Ford's Lost Cherry is too feminine for them, this could be a great cherry scent for men, like really great masculine cherry scent. To me, this is very, very masculine. Although all of these fragrances are marketed as unisex, of course, but to me, this one is masculine. So like I said, leather is very strong, too strong. And so unfortunately, I wanted to love this scent. I felt like I could, you know, because there have been, you know, a few scents lately that have leather in them that I really, really enjoy. This one, unfortunately, no. Leather note in here is way too strong for me. Next one is called Atramental, something like that. And the notes in here are water notes, bergamot, citruses, lemon, black pepper, cardamom, castoreum, resins, and saffron. Now, I will say that the only fragrance I tried on my skin is Cherry Punk. The other ones I smelled very, very briefly, but honestly, I don't remember any of them. So it's sort of my first impression on all of them, except for Cherry Punk, because that one I tested properly. So this one, Atramental. Well, pretty terrible in my opinion. It smells like, kind of smells like petroleum. I don't know, that's what it makes me think of. It's very chemical, like, you know, when you go to put gas in your car and you're at the gas station, you kind of walk out and so many people are filling up their cars. Sometimes it has a certain smell that's kind of what I'm smelling here. I don't even know what else is in here. I don't know what's giving me this smell, but it's pretty unpleasant. I can't, honestly, I can't separate this one into notes. I have no idea what these notes are. I am not picking up anything specific that I'm reading in here, but yeah, it kind of smells like I'm at a gas station filling up my car. Sorry, that's how I feel about this one. Next one on the list is called Electric Wood. So let's look at the notes: cedar, ambroxan, resins, oak, iris, and nutmeg. This one is pleasant. I am definitely getting iris in here, and it's, I would say, it's a very woody iris. Yes, that's what I'm getting. There's a lot of woody elements in here. And iris in here is interesting. It's not sweet. It's not powdery. It's kind of, I don't know, green iris, probably, I would say. Very earthy iris. Yeah, there is woodiness and there is a bit of earthiness in here, but kind of earthiness mixed with florals. Yeah, that's how I would describe it. So this one is actually pleasant. It's quite pleasant, especially for those that really enjoy the note of iris. I think you will really enjoy this scent. It's quite pleasant. This kind of green, slightly earthy iris mixed with woody notes. That's how it smells. Definitely totally unisex. And maybe, you know, now there's even a little bit of nuttiness that's starting to come out here as it's drying down. Yeah, maybe it's the nutmeg. I don't know. But I feel like there is a little bit of nuttiness that's coming through that's making it even nicer. So yeah, I like this one. This one is really, really nice. Next one here is Hollyrose. I mean, I'm assuming this is about rose. It better be about rose, right? Yes, it is. So the notes in here are blackcurrant, black pepper, rose oil, orchid, leather, and patchouli. Oh no, leather again. I'm after cherry punk. I'm scared of leather in this house. So let's smell. Yep. It's here. It's here. Leather is here again. Now, definitely not as rough as it is in cherry punk. No, it's a smoother leather, but it is still quite strong. Rose, on the other hand, is not strong here. It is here, but it's relatively light. It's not one of the main notes at all to me. Yes, there is leather. Yes, there is patchouli because it's leather mixing with patchouli. Gives it, you know, a little bit of leather, a little bit of earthiness. Blackcurrant. No, not really, not getting it. It's mostly a little bit of a rose mixed together with this leather patchouli combination. It kind of feels like the rose in here is very green, very young type of rose. Yep, that's what it is. Still, like I said, the leather is not as bad or as strong as it is in cherry punk, but it is still too much leather for me. And the rose, I feel like, is too green. Like, I wish it was a little bit more pronounced and I wish it was a little bit sweeter. The one element of this fragrance that I do like is patchouli. Patchouli is really nice. It's earthy type of patchouli, but it's not overpowering. It's really nice. But then again, I'm a fan of the note of patchouli, so I think it's not surprising that I like it. Overall, not loving it. Okay, let's go to the next one. I think this is not going to be a terribly positive video because I haven't found anything really outstanding so far, but let's continue. The next one is called Yesterday. So let's start with the notes: cardamom, thyme, bergamot, orange, basil, geranium, lavender, artemisia, caraway, vetiver, musk, sandalwood, tonka, and amberwood. Based on the notes, it sounds very aromatic, and it is. Yes, this is very aromatic. This one smells like some kind of men's cologne. Very cologne-y, very masculine. This to me is completely on the masculine side. There is nothing unisex about this scent. it smells like some kind of cologne, very aromatic, very spicy, a little bit woody. Basically that's it. Maybe even some citrus is coming through a little bit. And actually, even as it's starting to dry down just a little bit right now, I am also getting a little bit of soapiness in here as well. And we all know I can't stand soapy in a fragrance. So yeah, aromatic, slightly soapy, slightly woody, very much like some kind of men's cologne. Obviously not for me. All right, next one is called Sweet Leaf. So this one has grapefruit, eucalyptus, cannabis, angelica, and jasmine. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, it kind of smells like cannabis. You know, I think there's a cannabis note in one of my favorite fragrances, Flora Botanica from Balenciaga, but I don't feel it there at all. And this, yeah, it's cannabis, perhaps mixed a little bit with eucalyptus. When I first sprayed it on, I did feel a bit of grapefruit, but that disappeared almost immediately. And now I'm left with cannabis with eucalyptus. So kind of slightly medicinal. To me, eucalyptus has a slightly medicinal smell. And then, yeah, eucalyptus and cannabis. What else can I say? That's what it smells like. Overall, I will say, none of the fragrances feel overly complex. Like I'm not getting a lot out of each fragrance. Even, you know, when there are a lot of notes listed, I don't get a lot. Like I feel like, you know, there are a few elements that I'm picking up and it's like the rest is not even there. That's kind of my impression. Okay, we have two more. So while I'm opening the next one, let's see, it's called Blomma Cult. Here, let me show it to you. And the notes in here are bergamot, lilac, cashmere and iris, patchouli, cinnamon, vanilla, and white musk. Okay, there's finally vanilla in here. Maybe we're going to like this. Let's see. Okay, there is definitely some sweetness in here. But it's interesting, it's sweetness with a touch of sourness. Kind of interesting. There's also some powderiness in here, definitely. And a little spiciness. Yes, very interesting. It's vanilla with a bit of sourness, but it's kind of different types of sourness. It's not like, you know, I would say sometimes there is a little bit of sourness coming from some fruits, or there could be sourness coming from like lime or lemon. It's not that kind of sourness. It's coming from something else, but I feel like there is a bit of sourness in here. There's a bit of powderiness. Yeah, it's there's a bit of floral nuances in here as well. Although I can't say that I fully pick up lilac. Maybe lilac gives off a bit of that powderiness. I'm not sure, but it's not a full-blown lilac. You know, it's interesting that I just said that, you know, the fragrances don't seem complex. I'm not picking up a lot of things. And, you know, we get this one where I actually do pick up a lot of different things. And I would say out of everything that we tried, this is probably the most interesting fragrance. Now we have one more to go, so we'll see what that one smells like. But so far, this is the most interesting fragrance. Is it exactly my cup of tea? No, not exactly, but I like it and I think it is interesting. Definitely very interesting. And so we finally made it to the last one, and this one is called 1015. Interesting name. The notes in here are sandalwood, mandarin orange, and violet. Okay, sounds good. So there's definitely a lot of sandalwood here, and it's the type of sandalwood that I like, because when sandalwood gets very milky, for me, it starts smelling like dill pickles, and I don't like it. This is really woody type of sandalwood, almost like a dry type of sandalwood, which I like a lot more. Mandarin, no, I'm not getting it. Violet, you know, I'm not really getting violet either. If I didn't know, I would say that I'm picking up more of iris in here than violet. Again, kind of green, slightly earthy type of iris, like we had in one of the previous fragrances. I think it was in Electric Wood. I kind of feel like there is a similar type of iris in here. So for me, I'm picking up iris instead of violet. And also, if I didn't know better, I would say that there is a touch of leather in here as well. Now, here it's definitely in the background. It's not a main note here. It's not at the front, but I feel like there is a touch, a small light touch of leather in the background. So there's kind of this dry, woody sandalwood with a little bit of green, earthy iris and a small touch of leather. That's what this fragrance smells like to me. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's kind of nice. Again, I would say that to me, it is a little bit more on the masculine side, although, you know, it comes close to unisex, but still a little bit more on the masculine side, at least in my opinion. So it's nice. It's nice. Let's end it with that. So now that we've tested all of these fragrances, well, I think, again, my opinion is pretty clear. And please remember, this is my opinion. This is based on my taste. You know, some people might love these fragrances, which is absolutely wonderful. So that's what makes it so interesting, that all of us have different noses and different tastes. But for me, this is clearly not my house. None of these fragrances I loved. There were a couple that I liked, but majority, if I'm honest, I didn't like at all. They're just not my kind of fragrances. Are they a little bit weird and a little bit strange? Yes. But like I said, did I like any of them? Yeah, I liked a few, but I definitely didn't love any. And of course, you know, I don't think I need to mention no interest in purchasing any full bottles for sure. Again, this was really interesting to test this house because, again, it was the cherry punk that really interested me in this house. But I thought, okay, if I'm going to test that fragrance, I might as well try the others as well. And so I'm really glad that I did. It was fun. It was interesting. And again, now I can take it off my list. I've tried it. It's not for me, but I'm sure that, you know, some of you will enjoy some of these fragrances for sure. So please let me know. Have you heard of this house? Are you interested in trying anything from it? Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you soon in the next video. Bye.